Well, order a meal at Whataburger and you'll get your drink in a massive orange and white cup. But some people are hoping to change that. They say the styrofoam cups are bad for the environment. And today, they're asking Whataburger to reconsider the way they serve beverages. Eyewitness News reporter Savannah Louie explains the problem with the famous cups.
These orange and white cups are iconic, but a group of San Antonians are calling them something else.
Trash. Bad trash.
Carrie Bai is sick of seeing litter in her neighborhood parks and waterways.
Have you walked anywhere without seeing a styrofoam cup lately? No, it's everywhere.
Now she's asking those responsible to take some action.
We're looking for some leadership and environmental awareness. It's not an easy decision for a company to change a product.
No easy task, but that's what Carrie and thousands of other activists are asking Whataburger.
We're here today to deliver a petition signed by more than 53,000 people asking Whataburger to stop their use of their iconic polystyrene foam cups, or what is commonly known as styrofoam.
Luke Metzger of Environment Texas says these non-biodegradable cups are an eyesore that harm the environment.
Wildlife can mistake them for food, and then they can get stuck in their digestive tract, leading the wildlife to starve.
And hurt your wallet.
Texas and major cities spend tens of millions of dollars every year cleaning up litter, including these foam cups.
The group wants Whataburger to follow fast food chains like McDonald's and switch from styrofoam to something a little more environmentally friendly.
They're everything from bamboo cups to paper cups.
Or discourage disposable cups altogether.
10 cents off, 20 cents off a drink. That's proven to work to get people to bring reusable.
In an email, Whataburger Corporate Communications said they continue to look at cup alternatives that keep drinks at the right temperature.
Whataburger has agreed to meet with the group next month to talk about their product packaging. From the Northwest Side, Savannah Louie, KENS 5 Eyewitness News.